This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark Philbin, Charity Brown, 95.5 Hits FM in Belleville, Ontario, Canada. It's the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. And over the past couple of weeks, as millions of other podcasters and broadcasters alike have done, focused on events in Ukraine, humanitarian efforts, ways local communities can help, other events. Today, we've got something very special and rather unique, and that is a gentleman from the Quinte region in Campbellford who decided to just go over there and do what he could. That's an amazing story, Charity.
Just decided to go.
Yeah.
And as you'll hear from our chat with John, how it all began, as many things, with a glass of beer.
Yeah.
But John Graham, owner and proprietor of Church Key Brewery in Campbellford, very well known in the area. He and a couple of friends, Toby and Dave, just decided, what can we do? Well, this is needed. Why don't we go over and deliver supplies and drive refugees where they need to go, a better place? And very few people would go that far. And that's, I think, what makes this story so amazing.
That is absolutely amazing, because if I lived up to every one of my harebrained schemes,
great ideas, the light bulb moments.
Yeah. After a drink or two or three, after midnight. Holy smokes. I mean, thank goodness I didn't, because I don't know where I'd be right now. But to pull it off like that is amazing. And so once again, this is John Graham, and we'll fill you in again on the details since we broadcast this on the air this morning. A number of donors have flooded his GoFundMe page, for which we are grateful, and no doubt he is as well. But as you'll hear what he is doing in Germany, Poland, and Ukraine on a whim out of Campbellford. And again, this is how it all started.
Well, with all things in my life, it started over a couple of years, and talking with friends, and just reading the news and having that helpless feeling, and wondering if there's anything we could do. And we cooked this idea up, and it seems to be the right thing. Even with it being pretty seat of our pants and freestyle, there's other people doing similar things, and so I think it was just a need that filled itself.
Now, how long do you plan on doing this?
I've booked for 3 weeks. If we're hoping negotiations take care of the need for this, but we'll keep doing it for the 3 weeks I'm here. I've got a good friend, Dave Black, is on his way down here on I think he'll be here Sunday, so he's going to tag team drive with me for a little bit, because I'll be honest, I've been up about 35 hours now, so this isn't sustainable the way I'm doing it right now. So we'll work on that. When we're done after the 3 weeks for me, there's another fella, Ian, is going to jump right in our place, maybe do a small overlap so we don't have the learning curve again, and see if we can continue. So
this is John Graham of Church Key Brewery in Campbellford, doing what I would assume you would call a humanitarian effort. We think it's dropping off supplies, but is also shuttling refugees.
Yes, you flew into Germany on the weekend, and explain to people your travel. So you actually went to the border?
Yeah, so I landed in Berlin, and I rented a 9-passenger van, filled it full of everything I could purchase in Berlin when I started, and it was things like diapers and feminine pads, some shelf stable like pasteurized milk, chocolates, cookies, crackers, just anything that I could fit in. Nothing was formally set up, so it wasn't like it was literally looked like a shopping spree at a grocery store. So it was I just filled the cart a couple of times, filled the van, and then and headed for the Ukraine-Polish border, which is about a 7.5 hour drive from Berlin.
Right. And it may be obvious, but we got to ask you, what are they like? How do they feel? Yeah. What do they say?
The border town, which my apologies to anybody Polish listening, I have a hard time pronouncing it, but it's Przejnowiec. My apologies for that. it's pretty chaotic. I first went to the train station, and there are literally thousands of people there. By the time I arrived, it was afternoon, and they were mostly trying to arrange housing for the ones that were just coming in, as opposed to trying to arrange transportation for them at that point. So I was speaking with one of the volunteers there through the wonders of smartphone. I would type it in English, show it to him in Polish. He would go to somebody Ukrainian and have the conversation and come back to me. It's amazing how it can all work now. But so he told me there was a spot, an old Tesco grocery store about 2 kilometers away where they were staging transportation. So I went there right away, and I got it was a small registration process, take down my passport and police check and all that, which I did ahead of time before heading out, just on anticipation of it. And I signed up, and within about a half an hour of sort of some real intense organized chaos, it was there was a dozen people with yellow pinnies running around coming up with plans, and they assigned six ladies and a baby to me, and said that I should leave right away, and so I started on what's still happening. So about a 20-hour drive.
Wow.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. John Graham of Campbellford over in Germany doing some humanitarian work, moving refugees from the Polish-Ukraine border into Germany.
Mm-hmm. And people can follow along your journey, follow along with you on social media, of course. You've been great to provide updates as well as actual footage. How does it make you feel, John? How being over there and doing this, what are your feelings?
Well, first I'm going to give credit where credit's due. All I'm doing is pressing the record on the phone when I have an opportunity, and they're only ever 10 or 20 seconds at a time. It's Bill Davenport and Toby Van Roon that are editing those together, so they look like something. I've only ever seen the first one. I don't know how many they've done now, but to answer your question, it feels good, but it also feels so unnecessary. It's I wish I didn't have to do this, but it does take away that helpless feeling, I guess, and that I can do something in a crappy situation.
Now, for those who want to help you, John, who might not be able to do what you're doing and be there physically, but can still help support you or other groups, you do have a GoFundMe page set up. How can people or what are you looking for in that respect?
Yeah, really, that's unfortunate in any situation like this. With crisis is opportunity for somebody. The van rental company, I'm not gonna mention who they are because they don't deserve any plugs. But I believe I'm renting a van at 4 times the cost of what it would be on a normal vacation. So there's some real price gouging. For the 18 days, the van's going to be $4,400.
Wow.
Which is ridiculous. So the very best thing, and then with gas prices, obviously Europe's experiencing the same thing, that the gas and oil companies are taking all of the profit that they didn't get during the COVID times, all in 1 year. So the very best thing anybody can do is donate cash to that GoFundMe page. I know we were also asking for hats and mitts, and I think my partner at home, Robin, is absolutely overwhelmed by packing
hats
to ship right now. So I think we're good on that front. But yeah, cash is king. If anybody's got anything extra, and I know it's tough times for lots, but if you've got anything you can donate, it will go to good use. Well, it'll go to fuel for the van, and I'll keep doing this as many times as I can and get as many people to some safe housing until this is over.
All right,
it's amazing, John.
Drive safe, get some rest, and thanks so much for making us proud over there from all of us back here in the Quinte region. And stay safe, okay, John? We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Very awesome to speak with him. The fact that and what you didn't hear there, he was actually en route. He had one more passenger in the vehicle with him when we spoke to him on his way to Amsterdam. And you made the point this morning as well. So he had 5 women traveling with him and a baby.
Yeah.
When he dropped off those supplies, They paired him up with 5 women. And you mentioned it, it came to your mind, but it had to mine too. As a woman, here is this man you don't know, speaks a different language, says he's going to take you somewhere. And you just have to trust that that's what's going to happen.
Right.
You don't know if he's going to stop up the road and kick you out. You don't know if he's going to actually take you where you want to go. All these things are going through your mind, but they have to trust that this person will take them where he says he's going to take them. And especially when you're traveling with children, I just can't imagine.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what he's doing.
And chances are there is a man somewhere that went back deeper into Ukraine to his home or city and is fighting, trusting that somebody nice is going to look after his wife and children until they can be, cross fingers, reunited. But if not, that they can have a good free life wherever they are.
Yeah.
Heart and throat. And then there's John Graham.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank God for that.
Doing the right thing and doing what a lot of us, I think, would want to do.
Oh, yeah.
But he's actually there doing it. And kudos to him. And he's been, as he said, he's been driving or he's been up for 30 hours.
35 hours driving. Unsustainable.
It's an amazing story.
And we've seen enough movies where he's putting his life on the line. He's driving.
Absolutely.
He's driving in a country that he may never have been to, on highways he's never driven on, to go to cities he's never been to drop off total strangers because of war on a whim. Because somebody has to. And so John Graham decided to be that guy. And Dave Black and his other friends who have been filming it are staying over there.
Oh, yeah.
Others are going to fly in and kind of tap out, right, so that they can up the learning curve, as you heard. And then he's going to come back. And
now, John is on Facebook. And those videos that I mentioned while speaking with him, you will see on his page. They're being shared there. And it is very interesting to see him traveling with these people, and there are messages from the ones that were riding with him. As I said, in a different language, they're thanking him and expressing their gratitude. But it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. And you can hear him get emotional, because it takes a toll.
How do you do that and not get emotional? Yeah.
Or how do you not be emotional and then just go to do it? I mean, there's got to be something in you that says, well, I got to go.
I think that's what gets you there in the first place. But then to actually see it firsthand, it's enough to see the footage on TV and it's enough to read the stories, how that impacts you. But then to be there in it and seeing what's happening, I don't know how you can't get emotional.
And his partner, Robin, at Church Key, all kinds of hats and mitts
being dropped off, which is amazing too.
And so thank you to everybody's generosity, and I think their GoFundMe. What is the goal? It was
the goal is 15,000.
15,000. When we
and
had them on the
halfway
air,
there.
Yeah, when we had them on the air this morning, it was about 6,000, and now we're north of 8,000. So thank you so much, everybody. Get on Charity's Facebook page. We'll get it up on our socials. Story should be available soon, if not at the time of broadcast, at inquinty.ca with the link to the GoFundMe page, because as he said in there, the cost of the van, gas.
Yeah, that's it, and is meant to offset some of the cost of
buy humanitarian items at the grocery stores.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not doing this for a salary. No, you can't pay people to do this. So thank you, John, very much for what you're doing for his family and his friends back here who are missing him. He's doing a great job, and it was great talking with him.
It really was. Very interesting.
It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, Google Podcasts. Out of 95.5 Hits FM in Belleville. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day and the kickoff to March Madness, and you've got a couple of days off.
I do.
March break with the kids.
I have to recover after the last couple of days of filling out my bracket.
Yeah,
and yes,
I know. It's
I will spend a couple of
exhausting.
days with my kids and have some fun.
Enjoy that. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Galaxy of Games is going to be in there, and don't forget the phrase that pays. You can link it up through our website at 955hitsfm.ca and win some cash coming up tomorrow with 95.5 Hits FM.